Hello everybody, welcome to the video. I am CuriousKey, and today we're going to be playing some Creativerse. Now, let's have a look around. For those of you who may be unfamiliar, Creativerse is a voxel-based exploration slash building crafting game. It is similar in some respects to Minecraft, and as far as I can see, is quite clearly based somewhat on it. However, it does actually switch up quite a lot of the fundamental core gameplay mechanics. For example, pickaxes are not a thing. Instead, we have this integrated arm, and we can kind of get extra items to make it more powerful, to get better blocks, but we always have the basic ability, so it's kind of like always having a stone pickaxe on you at all times. So it does get rid of a little bit of the early on part of the progression, and it tends to have more of a slight, I think, although I'm not too experienced in the game, so I may be wrong, it has more combat and armor progression like that. I think there's generally more stuff to fight, and of course, as you can see, the graphics are just completely different. There is my only niggle about the graphics is, as you can see here, there's a little bit of a thing with the leaf blocks not being transparent. But apart from that, I think the game looks beautiful. It's just, in the last couple of days, gone free to play, so any of you who feel like you want to try it out, you can. It's currently on Steam, completely for free. And it's still in early access, so anticipate plenty more updates in the future. Okay, so when we get jumped in the world here, as you can see, we've got in number 1 on our hotbar, we've got this dig, which is our little arm here, the little robotic thing we've got attached to our arm. And with left clicking, we can just pull up blocks like that. We have a stick, if I just switch to that, which we can attack with. And we have this in number 3, a touchstone, which basically, if I place that somewhere, then I go over here and it's like, say I'm 1,000 blocks away and I want to get back, I can just go teleport, and as long as I can stay still for 3 seconds or so, or sorry, 5 seconds, I can come back. And I don't have to pick this up again. Basically, if I place it down over here, it gets rid of the old one. So it's basically, you can always have one touchstone in the world. I don't know if there's ever a capacity to have more so that we can select from different ones. I think I can select other people's if they haven't locked it, so that only they can access it. But I haven't actually ever played this game with anyone else, so I don't know how that works yet. The thing of only being able to do it if you're still for 5 seconds, I think is quite key. It means you cannot just dodge fights. If something can hit you, then it can deactivate your teleport. Now, we start off in the world of just this crumpled note which said, "She said I shouldn't leave you like this. Fine. Build the shelter from the blueprint I've given you before nightfall and light it up with something. Do that and you just might have a chance." Now, I'm not sure entirely why. It could be because this world was actually generated as a test just before the last update happened, and basically I decided to do my videos on this world rather than a new one because I found some stuff in this world that I really wanted to build in. That could be why I don't have the blueprint. It doesn't matter, actually, though, because you don't need blueprints to build stuff. Blueprints are kind of like, if you've ever played modded Minecraft and there was a build guide mod, it's kind of like that. It just gives you kind of a template for building to, really, that you supply resources to, and it kind of builds you stuff. You really don't need it, and I wouldn't actually want to use it anyway, because to me, building is something you do with your own creativity. Now, what we're going to need first to craft some of the very basic things is this cragwood, and we might as well grab these mushrooms all over here, because they're quite useful. They're used in some recipes, but they're also, I think, one of the most basic food sources you can get in the game. Now let's open up our crafting window, which is just here, and see if there's anything we can craft. Okay, so see, we need, for our wood mining cell, the next layer of mining cell, which is something we're going to really need, we are going to need the cragwood logs, the red mushrooms, vines, and blue flowers. Okay, so are these blue or red? I think these are the blue. Oh, red flowers. We'll get them anyway, because we may need them for something else. But we're going to need those blue flowers. See, I think one of the first things here, it's like getting your first pickaxe in Minecraft. We're going to need something which can mine stone, so we can get some resources and do a short bit of caving. Now, I think all the flowers always appear basically in trees. So let's have a little bit of a run around. This is a nice thing. There is no hunger bar exactly in Creativerse, but you have a stamina bar, which some things can boost, I think. And your ability to jump is significantly higher than in games like Minecraft, and your sprint is actually quite fast, so you're much more mobile. Look at this, I can just fly around the world. Although it does mean you do have to actually be careful, because as has happened to me a number of times, it is actually quite easy to jump off cliffs if you're being a little bit too excitable with your movements. Now, let's see, I really need those blue flowers before I can progress. And what I'm really sincerely hoping is that I haven't put myself in a biome where they don't occur. Ah, here we are. I think this is our... Yes, here we are. Okay, blue flowers. Perfect. Excellent. All the good stuff. Oop, just a moment there. My headphones are slipping. Yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry about that. I like to keep my headphones of kind of like one cup on and one cup off, so that if someone knocks on the door, I can like tell them I'm recording something. It's just kind of handy and prevents too many silly things happening. Because I live in a share house and interruptions are just infinitely possible. Okay, so now I've got a number of blue flowers. I need vines. Now that, as far as I remember from when I playtested this game ages ago, back in its very early days, I think it's in R25 now, it was back in R15 or 16. Okay, I think they can appear on trees like this moss. That's interesting, the moss block actually includes the wood. Let's see, I think it's like this. Here, yes, here we go. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. So, if we go into our crafting menu now, we should see that all of these things are available. So if you click on it and go on craft, and we have a better mining cell. What we also probably need to do is... Yes, we need to make a processor next. And actually, early on in the game, they tested out an idea where basically you had to find one of those in the world. And you used the processors to make your other processors. But they've since removed that in the last update or two, I think. To you actually making it, which I think feels more natural. Because to me, it did feel a little bit weird that I just kind of had to find this... Oh, that was a bit weird. That I just had to find this thing lying in the world. Now, there is currently a slight issue sometimes, as you can see here, with blocks where I'm tearing them up and it shows like white or black behind it. That's an issue of the rendering engine have spoken about, and I think they are planning on fixing that at some point in the near future, maybe in R26. As I will reiterate, we should remember this game is still early access, even if it's been released on the free-to-play model. It still is early access, so we should expect things to change. There might even be updates that make world saves incompatible, although I think they've said that they're going to do their utmost to make that not happen, which is why at this point I've started doing my Let's Play, because I feel fairly confident now that in future updates I'll be able to retain this world. So yeah, things may change, and we can pretty much guarantee that they shall improve. Now let's move out here into this plains. So we can see another biome. Now look at the mountains up there. I actually really like the way the mountains generate in Creativerse. They have this kind of very curvy kind of feel. It's not exactly what I would call realistic, I would say, because of the scale, it's in many ways just as unrealistic as Minecraft's hills, but I like them perhaps a little bit more, because they look a little bit more sane. Now, let's go into the crafting window again, and we should see that we have enough resources to make that processor. Oh, and now, see, each time you make stuff, it kind of unlocks new recipes. So now it's like, okay, we'll be able to use this processor, which I will have to put into my hotbar. Say, there, I don't need that dirt. And we'll be able to make stuff with it. Now, let's see, if I place that here, and put wood here, see, I can make either wood rods or wood slabs. Now let's make some slabs. And as you can see, I place them in the queue, and it kind of just goes, okay, and it just starts working through the queue. Now, let's see, what did it say I needed for the forge? Bedrock and stone slabs. So that's what I'm going to need to refine ores, and extractors will be the next thing we actually want to build. So we want to make some stone slabs. We actually kind of want to have a few extractors, because if they work the same way as they did back in the day, and of course they might have changed, they basically, you place them on a thing and they mine it, they kind of extract it for you, say coal or obsidian, and then they're gone once they've actually extracted it. So they are like a single-use item, but they're also incredibly cheap. I mean, it's wood slabs and stone slabs, and the economy for those is very similar to how it is in Minecraft. And you know, you always have loads of these guys. You know, they take 10 seconds to make 2 of them, and you can just queue up a bunch of them here, and they use very basic resources. So it's not as if they're expensive. It does mean that getting resources is slightly more expensive in Creativerse, but it's not to say that it's, like, you know, expensive in any grander scheme, really. For example, I can just make 3 of these guys here. Now, I'm going to be on the move for a while, so let's take that with us. And I wonder if we can get down to this cave here. Actually, I'm going to see if I can make myself a basic sword first, because I see creatures down there. So let's actually take a quick, just a very short diversion back into the forest here, because we should see if we can get that wooden sword, because that would be much better than just a stick. It says a pointy stick, but pointy sticks are better than blunt sticks. I think I read that somewhere in a treatise on military strategy, that the pointy stick is generally considered by experts in the field to be better than the blunt stick, unless the blunt stick is really big and heavy. Now, cragwood. See, the cragwood stuff we're using here is made from these fallen down logs. I'm not sure if we can use the big logs. Just to be safe, I'm getting these ones. The dead wood, basically. Because I think cragwood is basically their name for dead wood. It is odd you'd use dead wood to make a sword, though, because if you were going to make like a training sword or something, you would not want to use dead wood. Oh, okay, we've hurt ourselves with my silly jumping. So here I can show you how the healing works. I right-click on this, and in the bottom left, you might be able to see a little red mushroom symbol with a timer. That's basically a restoration timer. So for 30 seconds after eating a mushroom, I'm just going to be healing quite slowly. So you can't get health back instantly with basic level stuff. I think there may be potions and things later on that might be able to get health back instantly. But to start off with, we kind of have to be careful with managing our health, because if we're not careful, we won't be able to get it back quick enough to stay alive. Okay, so let's craft that. Now, we should be able to place that in my stick place. Twig. It's better than punching things with your fists, I guess. Nothing fancy, but better than that twig you start with. Watch for splinters, or at least carry tweezers. I actually really like the little item things in this. See, red mushroom, show off. Real beauty doesn't need to try so hard. Brown mushroom. See, I really like that. It's these really kind of snarky, sarcastic, and kind of humorous kind of item infos for items here, just on these little thumbnails, like often called plant snakes behind their backs. These are of use for binding and weaving. They like to hug their BFFs, cragwood trees. See, I really like that. It's actually kind of nice. Okay, it's getting dark, but that won't matter because we're going to be underground. I wonder if I can make some torches. That would be handy. Yes, I can. Let's get a bunch of torches. I am really, really not preparing myself very well for this, but I really want to show you guys what this is all like. Okay, so here we go. Already, we find ourselves some coal, some obsidian. Actually, yep, that's what we want. There we go. That's going to get us a few obsidian, I think, per extractor. We've got one extractor left. And I'll just see if I can run around. I do like the lighting engine in this. I mean, you've got this kind of blue haze above the extractors and the yellow light off this, and it just makes everything look really cool and vibrant. If you listen really carefully, I've got the volume kind of turned down low here, but you might be able to hear that the mining extractors make this kind of nice plinky plonky tune while they're working as well. There's a lot of care has been put into the aesthetics of the game, both in ambient light. Whoa, okay, abstract talk about the art of the game over. We've got a big thing chasing us. I don't know if I'm ready to fight this thing yet. Okay. Okay, that shouldn't have happened. I think he was suffering damage from being in the light of the torches, perhaps, and was already almost dead. Because I fought one of those early on in the game's development, and it took me ages to kill it with a wooden sword. So that was actually very, very lucky. These are the guys we can probably handle at this point, though. If we go down there, let's have a look at this guy. Let's kill something and see if it gives us something useful. Yeah, he's damaging us though. I don't want to. Okay, might want to eat something. Okay, here's a frustrating thing here. If he dies from, oh no, it's from overhead here. If he dies from daylight, I won't get any of the drops off him. So that was kind of a waste there. Oh, we've got another one. I think those guys down there are called Mirus, and they are above and beyond our abilities yet. Okay, so here's the thing. Look, these things take time. I think it's about 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. But they give you resources as you go. So it's going to be 6 per one. So that's actually quite a bit of obsidian. That's going to be plenty to start with, probably. But I do want to find a little bit more. And oh, look, brown mushroom blocks. I wonder what we'll find out what they're useful for later. But anyway, because these guys are going to take a little bit, I'm going to cut a little bit here until I've got some resources. And then we'll see what we're going to do next. Okay, welcome back, guys. So now our extractors are complete and we can get all this lovely obsidian. Now, while I was away, I actually went in search of some resources. I got another little bit of obsidian elsewhere and some coal. Whoop, okay, guy. Okay. Okay. Oh, hey, our first loot bag, I think. So, crystal shards, sharp and pokey, be careful, and leather. I'm not sure what the crystal shards are useful for, but leather is used for armor, as far as I'm aware. Okay, so now I've got some resources. First thing we can make is the next tier of mining cell with that coal, which is going to be useful to have. Now, our old mining cell doesn't go away, and as you can see, they have endurance, so sooner or later, one of these is going to be used up. But we need the stone mining cell, because the next... Okay, guys. We're going to get a little bit dogpiled here. I'll just clear these guys out, and then we'll go back to the topic of discussion. If I can clear these guys out. Okay, it might be time to defeat them through the bravery of running. Yes. Okay, so what we need is this bedrock here, which we couldn't get with the wood mining cell. We needed the stone one for that. And this bedrock is going to be used in the making of a forge, which will really... Oh! Oh, okay. I went off in search for ages for some coal, and or some coal right here, which I missed. That's always the way, isn't it? Okay, so here's some bedrock. Some limestone there. I don't know what the limestone's for, but we'll find out later, I suppose. Okay, so let's see. We go into crafting here. The forge needs that, along with some of the stone and wood slabs. So, just a moment. Did I leave my processor somewhere? Oh no, here we are. It's right here. I'm just being silly. Okay. So, if we then just make some stone slabs. Well, wait, that will make sense. And how many is it that we need? We need 6, yeah, along the bedrock. And once we have the forge, we can start moving up quite a lot in the world. Now, notice we've unlocked quite a lot of new stuff. We needed a few mob drops to get the stone sword. The rocks to rock, which I think is from those crab-like creatures which were eating us up a little bit. And if we get some glass, we can make a white beacon, which will be good for finding these underground places when we've gone off to find resources. In any case, let's get this and make that forge. Boom. Okay. This is kind of like the typical starter cave world thing we've got going on here. So from this we can actually refine our obsidian. We may as well just put it all on there to refine. And after that we'll be able that will really start opening us up there, because that's like the kind of Creativerse's equivalent of iron really is obsidian. It's a little bit strange, but there we go. And with that, we'll be able to really start moving on in the tech world. And this will be really exciting, actually, because I've never really... When I tested it before, I made obsidian, but I don't think I ever actually did anything with it. Oh, as you see there, I just harvested that stuff. And I think we have a teleporter. Oh, that will be very useful. And the way towards the next mining cell is open up. But I think before that we need to get ourselves some armor and a better sword, because the biome I intend on moving to start making a home is full of some quite nasty creatures. It's a canyon biome and it has some tough guys in it. So between now and the next episode, I think I will get some materials together to make a better, some kind of better armor and a better sword to hopefully give us enough stuff to survive in that environment. And I think I will call this the end of the episode. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Please do leave a like or comment if you have anything to add, anything I've missed, anything I should be doing differently, because I have been an alpha tester of this game before its free to play phase, but I didn't actually play it extensively, so there's going to be plenty of you guys out there that know more about this game than I do. In any case, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.